कंस आरामे अतको अन्यतरा देवता अभिङ्कन्ताय रन्तिया अभिङ्कन्तवन्ना केवलकम्पं जेतवनं ओबासिन्वा येन भगवतेनुपसङ्कमी उपसङ्कमिन्वा भगवन्तं अभिवादिन्वा एकमन्तं अन्तासि एकमन्तं तिताकोसा देवता भगवन्तं गाताय अंजबासि बहुदेवा मनुंसा च मंगलानि अचिन्तयन् अनं ब्रूहि मङ्गलमुत्तमम् असेवनाच बालानां पण्डितानां च सेवना पूजा च पूजनीयानां इतं मङ्गलमुत्तमम् अतिरूपदेशवासो च पुंबे च कतपुण्यता अन्तसम्मापनिधि च एतं मङ्गलमुत्तमम् बाहुसञ्चञ्च सिंपञ्च विनयो च सुसिंकितो सुभासिता च या वाचा एतं मङ्गलमुत्तमम् माता पितु उपन्थानं पुन्तदारंस सङ्गहो अनाकुला च कम्मन्ता एतं मङ्गलमुत्तमम् दानं च धम्मचर्या च ज्ञातकानं च सङ्गहो अनवञ्जनि कम्मानि एतं मङ्गलमुत्तमम् आरति विरति पापा मञ्जपाना च संयमो अपमादो च धम्मेषु एतं मङ्गलमुत्तमम् गारवो च निवातो च सन्तुन्ति च कथं युता हालेन धम्मसवनं एतं मङ्गलमुत्तमम्
Namo Buddhaya, and good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma who have just logged in to our SJBA Wednesday live Dhamma sharing over SJBA Facebook and YouTube page. This evening we have Venerable Ariya-dassana who will be sharing with us part 6 of his talks on the teachings of all the Buddhas, in accordance to the Dhammapada, verse 183 and 184. That is, avoid evil, do good, purify the mind. Before we begin, I would like to give a short introduction of Venerable Ariya-dassana for those who are tuning in for the first time. Venerable is a regular Hokkien Dharma speaker who does his sharing every Thursday morning over his personal Facebook page. And prior to Venerable renunciation, Venerable was doing accounting, company secretarial practice, and insurance. In 1999, Venerable joined a novitiate program organized by the late Chief Reverend Dr. K. Sri Dhammananda on his 80th birthday. The program had inspired Venerable to pursue more seriously his learning and the practice of the Dhamma. And in 2012, Venerable decided to go to Myanmar to further his practice and was renounced as a Bhikkhu there. Venerable Ariya-dassana just ended his 3 months Vasa rain retreat in Subang Jaya Buddhist Association on the 23rd of October, that's last month. Venerable is now back in Penang, in Naitam. But nevertheless, Venerable expressed his interest to complete the whole series of his talks of the teachings of all the Buddhas. And he will continue when he's back in Penang, just to ensure that he covers all the things that on the teaching of the Buddha. This evening talk is pre-recorded when Venerable was staying in Subang Jaya. There are more pre-recorded tips that will be shared over the next few weeks. So stay tuned. But before we do but during the talk, if you have any question, please feel free to type in your comment box, and Venerable will answer those questions at the end of this pre-recorded tape, all the way from Penang. Okay, we can start sharing the talk now, Brother Yek.
Okay, before we comment the Dhamma talk, we pay respect to the Triple Gem Prasad. Udam Udini Dhammam Udini Sangham Udini Okay, now we recite the homage to the Buddha and the Pancasila. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami. Now 5 precepts Pancasila. Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami Kamisu Michachara Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami Suramiraya Majapamadatana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami Apamanatina Sampadita. Strive on with diligence. Okay, now we continue with our talk. Okay, so far I've gone through review the fourth one already. The first one is killing, second one is stealing, third one is sexual misconduct, and fourth one is telling lies. Remember last session we talked about this Chincha, he lied that the Buddha have an affair with her. Then he pretend to be pregnant. Then Sakadevaraja sent something down to bite the string that tie the wood and the cloth to her body, and the tactic was exposed. So finally, she ran out of the hall and she was killed in an accident. So don't lie. So like I said earlier, we lie because we would like to escape from some punishment when doing wrong, or you want to boast, or you want to cheat. You lie. And this Buddha at one time, he advised Rahula that if a person can lie, he can do any sort of evil. So lying, we look at it, is very like minor precept, but it's actually very great consequence. In one parita, Vata parita, the parita about the quail, the Buddha was once born as a quail, and in his strive from enlightenment, then at that time there was a great fire, great forest fire. So far in Malaysia we never experienced great forest fire, but other places like in Indonesia, Australia, big continent, you can experience great fire. So the fire was burning very rapidly and very fiercely. So he recalled his practice of perfection of telling the truth. He say, I have wings but I cannot fly because it's too small. The quail was just born only, maybe a few days old. I have wings but cannot fly. I have feet but cannot walk. My father and mother had left me to find food. Then he say, by the power of the truth that I practice, may the fire retreat. And miraculously the fire retreat. In the sutta it was stated 16 leagues. One league is about 5 kilometers. So about 80 kilometers. It has to retreat so far because when there's a great forest fire, it's very, very, very hot. So the fire retreat for 16 leagues. So you see the power of truth, power of telling the truth. So don't just think that it's a very minor thing. It can be very devastating. There is another Dhammapada story. I think some people say that my Dhamma talk full of story, I'm telling story. But this story all are told by the Buddha himself. Buddha himself tell this story. So I'm just repeating the Buddha story only. So this type of story is okay because it helps to illustrate the point. This the Dhammapada 306. An evil plot against the Buddha. Seems like Chincha, but she didn't disguise as pregnant. So Buddha fame become very popular already. A lot of people trust the Buddha. And for other ascetic, their follower become less and less. Because Buddha is telling the truth. It's not based on some theory or anything plucked out from thin air. So the Buddha tell the truth. So his popularity increased and his follower also increased tremendously. So the other ascetic, because they have less support now. Of course, you have more followers, you have more support. So they engaged one lady called Sundari. So he asked Sundari, because Sundari is very beautiful also. So they engaged Sundari, say that every night you go to the temple and pretend that you are staying together with Buddha. And the next morning you come out, say you're going home. So every night, for a few nights, every night she go to the temple. Why you come to the temple at night? People going back. Why you are coming? Say I stay with the Buddha. So she lied. So this go on for a few days. Then after that, the ascetic also, they asked assassin to kill this Sundari and bury her body near the Jetavana temple. Buddha was staying at Jetavana temple. So buried there. So then the ascetic and his follower spread news on. See, Buddha got an affair with this Sundari and don't want people to know. And people know already killed Sundari. So they reported to a king. So they say they want to investigate. Okay, if somebody died, so it is proper to investigate. So they investigate, then they go to the place where they bury Sundari and they dug up the body. Then they show the king there. The body is near the Jetavana. Definitely must be the Buddha disciple or Buddha supporter go and kill her and bury her there. So they spread the news all around. But Buddha, because he's innocent, he maintained his silence. Then he told the follower and the devotee, say that whoever tell lies will go to hell. Then the king, later the king also heard this. So the king also very suspicious. The king have very much faith in the Buddha and the disciple. Definitely he know that the Buddha and the disciple and the followers wouldn't do this sort of thing. Buddha wouldn't have affair with the Sundari. The king knew that something fishy is happening. So the king also investigate. So every time you do something good or do something bad, there is always spy one. Out of, let's say, 20 people you employ, engage, maybe one or two will be against you one. Maybe they see that this is wrong. They themselves know it's wrong. Consciously they know it's wrong. So they wouldn't want to be part of the team. So exposed, and the king later found that they hired assassin to kill Sundari. So the assassin got caught. So later he owned up. So assassin, they are paid killer. So they asked him, who employ you to kill Sundari? So finally it was exposed that the ascetic, the other ascetic, the other fifth monk, they hire them. So all the ascetic who are involved and the assassin were punished. I don't know how they are punished. So the Buddha, so the people want to frame the Buddha. So whenever something bad happened to us, remember Buddha, such a good person, people want to harm him. So how about we? Definitely people also want to harm us. So this telling lies is very bad. Even for us Bhikkhu, every time before the Patimokkha, they will make announcement. It's part of the Patimokkha. They will recite. If you commit anything and you didn't own up, it's also a lie. So you don't have to speak, but even though you try to evade, it's also lying already. You are not telling the truth. But sometimes as lay people, you may have to tell something which is not true. For example, if a doctor found that the patient got cancer, not last time people did not tell the patient they got cancer, then tell the relative or the dependents that your so and so got cancer, all these sort of thing. So how are you going to tell the patient if the patient keep on asking you, pestering you, what have you diagnosed me? So probably you can give a subtle answer. Oh, we will try our best to help you. Sometimes can succeed, give them hope. So Buddha, last time I remember Chief Reverend K3 Namananda, he also told one story. Last time there was a king and his brother, they are rivals. Usually like that, maybe brother want to take over the kingdom, so become enemy. So the king was chasing the brother, and the brother ran inside the temple. Go to the maybe hide in the shrine hall or hide in the dining hall. So the king come and ask the monk, if my brother come and hide in the vihara? The monk said no, but he's not telling lie. Because vihara actually means a place of accommodation. Because during the Buddha's time, there was no such thing as temple or monastery. Monastery is a place where the monk live and the monk undergo training. There's no such thing as like temple like that open up for people to come and pray. Because last time people never come and pray to the image one. It's only later on when people start to come and pay respect to the Buddha. So Buddha's time there's no temple, so there's no need for a temple. But now a lot of temple evolves to become vihara, called by the name of vihara. So initially there's none. So better don't tell lies. If you can tell the truth. So what, you got punishment, you have done something wrong. Like Buddha at one time also never tell the truth. Remember, no? When one of the Queen Malika died, yes, been a good follower of the Buddha, and in the earlier story I say I tell already. Then because of some misdeed he do, he will be born in the suffering plane for 7 days. So every day the Buddha, the King Visara want to ask the Buddha certain thing. Ask where is the king born, where is the queen born now. The Buddha used his psychic power to make the king forget to ask. Then only on the 8th day, when the queen was born into Sita heaven already, then the Buddha said, your queen is now born into Sita heaven. Buddha didn't want to tell the truth at that time, because Buddha say, you tell anything, there is a proper time. When people want to hear, there's a proper time for you to tell. You tell wrong time, also no use. For example, Dhamma talk. If people are so busy, rushing here and there, you give Dhamma talk, nobody want to hear one. Everyone will be engaged in their work. So everything has a proper time. So when the proper time is up, then on the 8th day, she was reborn into Sita heaven. Then the Buddha said he is now born into Sita heaven. So if you want, you can maybe find somewhere else. But better don't tell lies. You tell lies also, people cannot trust you. In the Sigalovada Sutta also say, people cannot trust you, cannot trust your word. When you want to marry, the time people look, last time people check the background one of the bride and the groom. Say, hey, this fellow always tell lies, cannot marry into that family. So try to avoid lies. So okay, number 5 is abusive talk or slander. So try, like the Mangala Sutta also say, gentle speech. Don't say things very harshly. Like sometimes as children, we do say certain harsh words to parents. Better don't. Be more careful when you talk, especially to parents, because anything we say or do to parents, the penalty is heavier one. Like you scold an uncle and you scold your father, the penalty is different. The karma is different. So be more careful. Like I got one devotee in Penang. I think he's not very young, not very old. I think about coming to 50. So he is single, until now he's single. So his mother was sick. All the while his mother was quite healthy. So every weekend he take his mother to the temple, to Penang, to MBMC, Malaysian Buddhist Meditation Center, to do dana. Every Sunday his mother will cut some fruits and bring to MBMC. Every Sunday, without fail, he take his mother there. Whenever his mother want to go, he take his mother there. Then towards the last few days of her mother's life, she was sick. Then she was a bit handicapped in the sense that she suffered incontinence, all this sort of thing. Then there's one time she shit on the floor, and she got no strength. So when he come back, I say, "Ayo, ma, why you so dirty when you shit on the floor, all these things, and never clean all this." And his mother is very clean one. He say he did not use the home toilet one, because after using the toilet, his mother will sure go and clean again. So troublesome for his mother. Always they go to his factory to use the toilet, he did not use the house one. So his mother is very clean one. So towards the last few days, turned out like that. So he know that his mother feel a bit hurt. So sometimes we say things to our parents, be more careful. Don't say harsh things. To outsider never mind, but still have to cut down. When you say harsh things, normally because there's anger in you. If you are not angry, you wouldn't say such thing. So try to cut your anger. As you practice, as you cut your anger, can go to second stage of sainthood quite easily. Because to attain the second stage of sainthood, you have to reduce your anger and your sensual desire. Reduce only, not completely cut off, reduce only. Maybe reduce by at least half lah. Reduce only. So as you practice for your first stage, you also practice for a second stage. And the other thing to cut down is sensual desire. Also cut down by a lot lah. So try to have gentle speech lah. Doesn't mean that everything you say must be pleasing to people. Must like people say must really go and bother them. No, it's not like that. You say the truth, but say it in a nicer way, gentle way. Don't be like some hooligan, open mouth, closed mouth, 4-letter word, ayo, this sort of thing. You all try to avoid lor. So some people don't say 4-letter word, they quite usual, they shit lah, stupid lah, idiot lah. So don't say this sort of thing lah. Better say gentle speech is part of the Mangala Sutta. It's a sutta that talk about great blessing. So if you talk gently, it's a blessing. Oh, okay. So the other one is divisive talk. Divisive talk. Divisive talk means you talk that you will end up dividing people into two groups lah. Maybe they are good friend, good friend. Then sometimes out of jealousy, or sometimes simply talk only. So you talk, you carry tales. Sometimes you carry tales. Then as a result, you hurt some people, and after that they don't want to friend the other party. So try to be more mindful of your speech. You see, the action one is only 3 now. Don't kill, don't steal, sexual, we got 3 only. But speech one got 4 no. That means our mouth is more dangerous. Buddha say the mouth is like what? Like knife or something. So you can hurt people. Remember, things you say already, you cannot recall back or not. You cannot retract back. Whatever you say is out already. So when you say someone heard it, it will somehow other spread one. So be more careful. So try to avoid divisive speech. Here no sorry. The number 7 is frivolous talk, means talking rubbish lah. Buddha call it animal talk. Talk like animal, no real value one. You talk about car lah, talk about woman lah, talk about men lah, about watches lah, houses lah. You talk about all these things. Then Buddha say if you want to talk, you talk something that help you to attain nirvana. Otherwise, to keep noble silence. Very difficult, I know this is very difficult because when I was a layman, I organized many retreats before. We put noble silence all over the world, all over the place, but nobody bothered. A lot of people like to talk. Sometimes you come to a retreat, you happen to meet familiar people. Wow, so long didn't see you. Talking already. See? Like to talk. So try to talk less. Like we all monks, we don't like to talk too much one now. So sometimes lay people fetch us in the car, especially alone. Usually they find it a bit uncomfortable one, no? Because we keep quiet. So maybe they think, this Bante is happy or not, or why he's not happy, why he keep so quiet. We are used to no sound. For me, I used to live alone in the around lunchtime, devotee will come and offer some food. Then after they go back, we are on our own already. Nobody come one. So that is the best for us lah. So afternoon normally I spend my time doing meditation. Someone, there's one old man very kind. He offered to build a kuti for me to meditate. So I've managed to find a place between my small little plot of land. I have one place which is a bit sunken, surrounded by trees, and very funny, can find two pieces of rock, flat rock, and they build a kuti on top of the rock. So let me meditate there. So someone, at first it's only a pavilion, a roof and four poles, but later someone want to dana the mosquito netting. So now it's all enclosed, mosquito netting. So it's now called a kuti, not a pavilion anymore. So afternoon we like to meditate alone. So we are so used to staying alone. We are so used to not talking. So one day you'll be surprised I don't know how to talk. So don't gossip, because gossip you gain nothing. What do you gain from gossiping? Nothing, right? Make you more trouble, give you more trouble. Okay, the next one is covetousness. Covetousness means you got some greed for some people's things. Normally you greed for people's husband or wife. Buddha say be contented with your wife or your husband. Don't look for additional one. There's one story quite the same as the King Bibisara one. This is a person called Ambasakara. He is a Lichavi chieftain. Lichavi is a group of people, like we all got Hokkien, got Cantonese. This one is called Lichavi. He stayed in Vesali during the Buddha's time. He one day, because he's a chieftain, he's very rich, something like a governor or something like that. Then he got his own city, with a gate. Last time in China also got, I think. China, if you watch the olden shows, you can see at night the caretaker or some government official will come up with a lantern, go down and see who is still outside get caught. So this one is stay in a city or probably in a small township with a gate enclosed one. So one day he went out into the city to look around, to maybe to sightseeing or to check whether anything is wrong, check on his people. Then he saw in the window a beautiful girl, same like King Bibisara. He saw a beautiful girl. After that, he liked the girl so much. So he asked his people to go and check to find out about the girl. Then found out that the girl is also married. But his love for the girl is so strong. The urge, the lust for the girl is so strong. So he asked the husband to come and work for him. Same thing, he asked the husband to go and look for the lotus flower and the soil, and to bring back, because he want to bathe. Maybe same story. Different people, just like in Malaysia also the politics happening, same storyline. So the chieftain asked the man to go and get the flower very far away. So So the wife also prepared some food and let him go. So go. Then on the way he also meet people lah. So also share some food lah. So when he reached a certain distance, so he also took a rest. Then this time there's nobody help him lah. But this one is only 3 leagues away. 3 leagues is 1 league is about 5 kilometers, so 15 kilometers away. So to and fro is 30 kilometers. 30 kilometers I think can lah. Because I used to walk 4 kilometers in the morning for Pinabat when I was staying in Palipulau, Ariya-dassana. 4 kilometers, it took me 1 hour. So 15 kilometers about maybe 4 hours if you want to take a rest, come back. So can come back in the same day. So the Nichavi chieftain also same thing lah, play dirty lah, ask his guard to close the door earlier. So no choice when he come back, he cannot go in anymore. So he has to put the flower outside. Then he asked one thief to be his witness. So the thief okay, but the chieftain where got believe the king is a criminal. So and ask his uncle, Petal, a ghost, to be his witness. So the next day the chieftain was very happy already, can kill the Ambasakara already and marry the woman. Whether the woman want to marry him or not, I don't know lah. Maybe by order has to marry, unless the woman run away. So the next morning, the chieftain come out, so sentence him to death. But he said no, I got a witness, got a ghost to be a witness. So same thing. So at night the ghost come and be the witness. Say that the man did really come back earlier. So what to do? So have to let the Ambasakara go free. So before that he saw the ghost was naked. Then the chieftain asked, why are you naked? He said, because when he was a layman, he and his friend go to the river to bathe. Same place, same story. So after bathing, he hide his friend clothes. That's why now he's born naked. So the chieftain asked him how to help him. He said, okay, you offer a rope to a monk, then you say for my merit, then I will get it. So all the while he's waiting for people to do merit. So our relative, we better transfer merit to them more often. So the next day he offered the rope to a monk and said that it's for the ghost. So immediately the ghost got heavenly clothes to wear. So if your relative no clothes to wear, offer rope. No point burning the clothes one. You burn the clothes, they get ashes only. Nothing can be gained from it. So after that, the Ambasakara, he got converted, and he listened to a sermon by the Buddha, and after he became a Sotapanna. So later the thief was cured by one physician. So also attained, he finally attained, the thief finally attained Arahanthood, So don't look down on thief this or this. A lot of people who are in the bad bad company can be rescued. So covetousness is this story and the King Bimbisara story already told, more or less the same. But this one is Buddha story. Don't think that someone coined up the story. Is a real story. Next one is hatred. Hatred, there are a lot of story. Hatred, we must also reduce our hatred. Remember, you want to attain second state of sainthood, you must reduce your sensual desire and hatred. Remember, the first state of sainthood, you let go of 3. Sakkaya Ditthi means the wrong view of the body. Our body is only the 5 aggregates, nothing. Then doubt in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Then the rites and rituals, you must overcome it. So now, if you have a lot of rites and rituals, you must let go of it. No value, no significance at all. All the rites and rituals. Then there's one story called in Dhammapada 2-3 about metta. To protect one lady called Uttara from pouring oil. This Uttara, she was daughter of a farmer, poor farmer. Then the farmer worked for a man called Punya. So they work very hard. So one day, the Reverend Sariputta came out from Nirodha Samapatti. That means 7 days, 7 nights, deep meditation in the 4th jhana. So you will offer food to a person who comes out from deep meditation, very meritorious. So this Punya and the wife offered dana to Venerable Sariputta. So it become a very few days, they become very rich, How? Because they found gold in the field that he was working on. He found gold. So last time, if you found gold, the king one, no, not yours. Even like now, it's the government. If you find gold, it's the government one. No, it doesn't belong to you. Maybe you can get some reward. So he was rewarded. He was given a lot of money. He became a chettiya. Last time banker is called a chettiya. Last time no bank one. So bank is just to lend money only. Rich man can lend. So Indian one is called chettiya. Our Chinese one is a pawn shop. So after that, the Punya offered the Bhikkhu 7 days, 7 nights, 7 days dana. So Punya become rich already. So finally, Punya become rich already. So Punya daughter finally married the son of the rich man. The rich man called Sumana. Sumana sons want to marry Punya's daughter. Maybe they already know each other. Then last time Punya was poor, so the rich man was very allowed the son to marry a poor daughter. So now also rich already can marry a little. So after marriage, she go and stay with the Sumana's son. But Sumana and the family are not followers of Buddha. They have no importance in the Buddha at all. Doesn't offer dana at all. So she complained to her father, now you send me to stay in the cage. Just like a cage, they cannot do dana at all. So as a result, the father gave us a lot of money to do dana, because cannot take the sumanas or the son's money to do dana. To do dana, you need money to buy things, right? So she offered the daughter a lot of money. So the daughter want to do dana for 15 days now. So when he want to do the dana, she want to do it full-heartedly. So the this Uttara, that the daughter, hired something like social escort, somebody to accompany the husband. So he is so generous. Normally the girl wouldn't want another woman to be near the husband. She is different. She hired one lady by the name of Sirima to take care of her husband. So every day for 15 days, this Uttara work very hard. Make sure that the monk get the best food, cook nicely with metta. So on the last day, she thought it must be something very special. She want to offer much more. So this Sumana son look at his wife, silly girl, don't know how to enjoy life. Feed the monk only. Ayo. Then Srima was standing near him. I said, yeah lah, yeah lah, so silly, so stupid. And she forget that she's only a hired woman, you know. She thought that after staying for 15 days, she thought it is the son's wife already. only a few days, maybe today 15 days, she has to go back already. So she say, yeah, so stupid one. So you know what she do? She went to the kitchen to bring out a pot of hot boiling oil, you know. Maybe they're cooking. So when he bring out, so the kitchen helper thought that she want to take oil to help somewhere. But no. She bring up the pot of hot boiling oil, want to pour on Uttara's body, you know, want to scar her, you know. Then, but Uttara, he was very good, very full of metta. It's only for Srima to come here and help my husband, to accompany my husband, that I can perform all these things with full of heart, you know, full of metta. If she didn't come, I cannot have the opportunity. She was very grateful, full of gratitude for Srima. But when she saw Srima holding the pot high up, near him, then she know that she is going to pour the oil on her. Then one thought came to her mind: if I have no ill will towards Srima, let the oil become cold water. And really, the oil become cold water. She wasn't scarred at all. So Srima saw that, also got shocked. Hey, hot boiling oil, no effect, like cold water like that. So she rushed into the kitchen, want to bring out another pot, but then the worker already saw what's happening and stopped her, want to beat her, but Uttara said, no, don't beat her, don't beat her. So stop her from beating her. Then only then Srima realized that she is doing such a bad deed. So she asked Uttara for forgiveness. Uttara said, I cannot forgive you. Only my father can forgive you. Same thing, she referred to the Buddha as a father. So the next day, she organized a dana, Srima. This time Srima organized the dana and invited the Buddha and the disciple to come. So after doing the dana, Srima approached the Buddha. He said, the purpose of this dana is because I want to seek forgiveness from you because I tried to pour hot boiling oil on Srima. But Buddha already knew. So Buddha looked at Uttara and say, are you angry with Srima? Say, no, I wasn't angry. Not a single thought of anger. Not a single thought of anger. Full of metta, full of compassion, full of gratitude for Srima. Because of Srima, she come here to accompany my husband. I only got the chance to do dana for 15 days. I'm full of gratitude for her. I got no single thought of anger or hatred or evil towards Srima. Then Buddha asked Uttara, will you forgive him? Yes, I will forgive. In fact, I don't feel anything. But yeah, I'm willing to forgive and forget any incidents that happened. So see the power of metta. So even hot boiling oil can turn into cold water. You dare to try now? You got time? Okay. This story of Dhamma Pada number 5 about an ogress, yaka, female yaka. He want to kill a baby. There's one time a man, he married the wife, but for so many years the wife cannot give birth. She was barren, so cannot give birth. But normally this sort of thing happen, they always blame the wife. They never think maybe the husband not capable of impregnating the wife. Think that always the wife fault. But really like the wife fault. Then because of that, the husband married a second wife. Last time, okay, one, you got money, you can marry. If you got money, you can take care, you can marry as many as you want. So after some time, the second wife was pregnant. So the first wife was jealous, because he's pregnant already, got a baby already. So later, the husband will sure love the second wife more. Maybe it was just like cold storage already. The first wife, second wife more valuable. Can give the husband a son or a daughter. If you give son, they're much more happier. Last time people always like to have son, but the Buddha different. Buddha say mother more important. That's why we always say Mata Pitu. Mata is mother, Pitu father. Mother always comes first one. So the Buddha is different. Because without the mother carrying the child, where can the child be born? So she tried 2 times to cause abortion to the second wife. 2 times. Each time the second wife got pregnant, she caused miscarriage already. Sure will abort. So the 3rd time, she hide. She dare not show that she's pregnant already. Don't want people to know. So later the baby was born. Later cannot hide already, because it's 9 months. How to hide? Stomach so big. So later the baby was born. When the baby was born, also she find way to kill the baby. So finally the baby was killed, and the mother was killed also at the time of birth. So both died. So okay. So after that, she became the only wife. So in the following life, the two of them, first one and second wife, one was born as a hen, one was born as a can. So each time the hen lay eggs, and the egg hatch, the cat will come and eat the chicken. This is the revenge. Definitely will happen one. You do any bad karma, it will come back. So all the while, the chick hatch already, the cat will come and eat. So in the next life, one is born as a doe, a female deer. Then one born as a leopardess. So each time the deer, the doe give birth to the baby, to the baby lamb, the leopardess will come and eat up. So every time will eat up. Cannot hide one. Maybe a few days later will eat up. So also because of karma. So in the next life, one was born as a girl in a very noble family. And later on also she got a son. Then one is born as a yakini, a female yaka. So one day, every time the yaka try to catch the baby. So normally the yaka or this thing cannot enter your house. So the woman very careful, don't want to bring the baby out, always hide in the house. So one day, maybe the girl thought that it's quite safe already, so she bring the baby out. The minute she bring the baby out, the yaka keep on chasing. So luckily, the temple was nearby. A monastery was nearby. So she ran inside the monastery. So once inside the monastery, she cannot go in. The yaka cannot go in. Normally, all these spirits and ghosts cannot enter our house. According to here, your house normally got guardian. The guardian will always stop the ghost or spirit from entering. So we all Chinese, we pray to the Teju Gong, what help, because they are all Deva, maybe lower Deva. If you are a good person of good character, Deva will take care of you. That's why just now the story, Srima pour hot boiling oil on Uttara, also didn't get scalp. Properly the help of the Deva. Because the Buddha said, if you practice metta meditation, you got 11 benefits. One of it, this fire, weapon, and poison cannot harm you. So that's why it helps in practicing metta. So she ran inside the temple and placed the baby on the Buddha's feet. So no, cannot chase already. The yaka cannot come in anymore. So the Buddha knew. Asked the yaka to come in. But the yaka in front of the Buddha cannot eat. So Buddha told them why this lot of things happen. Explain to them that in so many lifetimes they have been enemies, eating each other's offspring. If you don't stop, it will never stop. It will never stop. It will carry on. So the Buddha advised them to let go of any anger or ill will and practice metta. Then finally they understand. And the yaka, I think become a sotapanna. I read somewhere the yaka and the girl also become sotapan. That's why Buddha around is much easier. Normal people don't know Dhamma. They hear the Dhamma. Sometimes for the first time they can get first state of sainthood. But don't wait for the next Buddha. Don't wait. Now the Dhamma is around. The Buddha, all the, remember, this is the Buddha teaching, all the Buddhas teaching, all the Buddhas also taught like that. So if we can understand this one, it's good enough. It's good enough. I mean how? Because if good enough for you to attain the first stage of sainthood, it's very safe already. Don't have to worry anymore. Nothing to worry, absolutely nothing. You will definitely become Arahant one day. So if there's no Dharma, you have to go on for countless life. The Buddha said countless. If you take the calculator, last time multiply become error. No calculator so get hang already. It will happen countless, cannot count at all Don't know how many zero behind. So I will stop here for the Q&A session. So the advice is don't have ill will. Then also tell the truth. You can tell the truth. So especially we are monks, if ask us to chant parita, chant sutta for blessing, for what, if we don't have truthfulness, it's not so effective, because every time at the end, etena sajavajena, means by the power of the truth. So every time we chant this stanza at the end of the sutta, at the end of the parita, if we are used to telling lie, they got truth. So sometimes if you don't tell the truth, our chanting not valuable one. Tarakwat one. Okay, see you. Okay, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, 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 Venerable. Thank you, Venerable, for all, as always, for sharing those interesting stories from the Dhammapada to stress those points. I think you have to be very clear. We must be very careful on telling lies and bad and malicious speeches. And lastly, like what Bhante said, ill will, and also its consequences. Okay, so we shall now go to the Q&A. Brother Yik, can you share the questions? Bhante, why some obviously corrupt people continue to prosper and get away with it, and some virtuous individuals continue to suffer from poverty and ill health?
Well, Buddha say karma is very difficult to understand. It's all due to a karma, because we may do a lot of good deeds now, a lot of meritorious deeds, and yet we don't reap the good result, because we don't know in the past what we have done. Not only one life, countless life. Yeah. And some of the bad karma may obstruct your good merit from bearing fruit. So similarly, those corrupt people, they still continue to be prosperous because of the many past meritorious deeds they have done. So now they are reaping the fruit of their past karma.
I see. Okay. Any, Brother Jake, any other questions? Okay, next question, Venerable. What are the ways to minimize hatred for someone who has hurt you and you find it hard to forgive? How do we minimize this? Well, how do we? I think there's ways to minimize it.
Yeah, some of the things we want to forgive, but sometimes it's too severe. We may not, we may find it hard to forgive, lah. But then you must understand, sometimes people hurt you, because you hurt people before. Maybe you hurt people before. Uh, um, that's what make me. Actually, I have a stepmother. I have a lot of
Oh,
hatred towards her. Then during the 1999 novitiate program, Reverend Mahinda said a lot of things happen because there's a cause. So I was just contemplating, I was just thinking, maybe in a past life I could have been a stepmother, and this life she come back as my stepmother. So I better put a stop to it. I better forgive her and let go of any feeling of anger or ill will. So that helped me to overcome my hatred towards her. Then after the novitiate program, I went back to seek forgiveness from her. So this is my own experience. So it's a matter of understanding. If you have better understanding of how karma works, you will definitely give up all those feelings of anger or ill will. If not, you always continue life after life, just like the cat and the hen, the doe
mhm.
and the leopardess, and the woman and yaka. You continue life after life, no end. You need to put a stop to it. And during the novitiate program, one of my friend also say something quite similar, and he say, "Tutup account, must close account." Tutup account.
Very good
So that's why
analogy.
I
Very good analogy,
believe Tutup account.
Venerable.
Very frightening at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Mm,
the answer is very, very clear. And I seriously, there are a lot of people, including myself too,
yeah,
Venerable. And I think that reply comes in very useful to me, and I believe to many people too. Okay, sadhu, 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 Bante.
okay.
Brother Jake, any more questions? Okay, from Leong Yu Ming. Can a commoner be really contented with life in such hard and difficult times like this MCO?
Can the commoner be really contented with life? Well, contentment is up to individual. I can be contented with a small plate of rice from Japan, and some people may have, want a big plate of various food from restaurant. So it's up to individual lah. Of course, during the MCO, uh, we will have difficulty obtaining uh, more for ourselves lah. During the MCO, we have to be more contented. uh, we cannot go out as we like. We cannot eat in the restaurant as we like. So we have to abide with the SOP.
Thank you, Venerable. Project, any more question? Okay, from Brother Lawrence Low. Venerable, what is the best way to get rid of desire, anger, and hatred? Will meditation help?
Well, meditation does help a lot. Does help a lot. Because the Buddha say when we didn't meditate, our mind is very wild. But when we meditate, it's just like you go to the side of the river, and when you see the river is calm and still, you can see what is inside the river. You can see the shells and the stones and pebbles and the fishes swimming. It's just like that. When we meditate, our mind becomes clearer. Then we can see our own desire, our own anger and hatred and delusion. So if we do not meditate, our mind run wild. We cannot see all this nonsense within us, all the defilements. So meditation does really help. So I will encourage everyone to meditate, really meditate. Try to find whatever subject to meditate on, which subject is suitable for you, and practice meditation. Buddhism is the only religion that tell you meditation is necessary, required to attain nibbana. So please meditate.
Thank you, Venerable. So, if no more questions, or one more question, Brother Leong Yuming again. How can one minimize or eradicate one's sensual pleasure?
Again, it's through meditation. When you meditate, you can see really the defilements and the consequences of following one's sensual desire. Because when you meditate, then you can see, for example, if got sensual desire, then you meditate on the 32 parts of the body, right? Then if you have, let's say, greed for food, maybe you can look at the loathsomeness of the food. There are many ways to overcome all our defilements. And the Buddha has taught many subjects that cater to the various defilements that we have.
Thank you, Venerable. So I believe no more question. So if no more question, sadhu, 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 Venerable. Thank you very much for the insightful answer to those questions. I hope he has given all the audience here, all those who participated in this evening session, a better understanding and also clarify some of your doubts. So, dear brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, over the last 1 over hours, we've all spent our time with a calm, attentive, and peaceful state of mind, listening to the Dhamma. And with the merits we have all accumulated, I would like to request Venerable Ariya to lead us in the sharing of those merits we had all accumulated with our loved ones, departed relatives, and friends, and also all beings.
Okay. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Inam no punyam bhagam. We share this merit with Mata Pitu Nancha, our mother and father, Atriya Nancha, our teachers, Sabha Satanan Nancha, all beings, Sabha Mitanancha, our friends, Sabha Natinancha, our relative, Sabha Pitanancha, all departed beings, Sabha Devatanancha, Majima, and all devas. Inam no punya bhagam, Sabha satanam dema. We share these merits with, may all beings obtain a share of these merits. Sabbi sata sukita hontu. May all beings be well and happy. Idam me dinam hotu. Sukita hontu tayo. Idam me dinam hotu. Sukita hontu tayo. Idam me dinam hotu. Sukita hontu tayo. Let these merits accrue to my departed relatives and friends. May they be happy. Imina punyaka mena bame bala samagamo tatam samagamo hotu yavani panapatiya. By the grace of these merits that I have thus acquired, may I never follow the foolish, but only the wise and the enlightened one, until final liberation is realized. Idam me punyam asawa kayam waham hotu. May these merits of mine lead me to the extinction of all mental defilement. Idam me punyam nibbana sa patayo hotu. May these merits of mine be a condition to attain enlightenment. Sadhu,
To
sadhu,
sadhu,
sadhu.
sadhu. Thank you, Venerable. And also thank you to all of you who have participated throughout this evening session. And before we end, let us put our palm together and pay homage to the triple gem. Buddhang pujemi, Dhammang pujemi, Sangham pujemi. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Venerable Ariya-dassana will be sharing part 7 of his Dhamma talk next Wednesday. We shall keep you all posted and hope to see all of you again soon. We have come to the end of our Wednesday evening Dhamma talk. Please visit us again, and may you be well, happy, and peaceful always. Sabbe sata sukita hontu. Good night, everybody.
Bahung sahan semabhinim mitesayudantang Sasena marang Dana di Dhamma